Hello, everybody, and welcome to Talkin Chalk. I'm Ken Berthelot. Talkin Chalk is the show where faith, sports, and leadership all come together. Today, we visit the RonEagles of McDonogh 35. Coach Wayne Reese led his football team to one of the best seasons in school history. That included a season-opening victory over St. Aug and another victory over the Purple Knights in the state playoffs. In just a moment, we'll talk to the coach and meet this incredible McDonogh 35 football team right after this on Talkin Chalk. Welcome back to Talkin Chalk. Some people think that Wayne Reese has been around since Moses parted the Red Sea. Actually, in 30 years of high school coaching at different high schools, including Booker T. Washington, Carver, where he coached a very special football player, and McDonogh 35, Wayne Reese has done some fabulous things, including 9 straight playoff appearances at McDonogh 35. Let's meet this wonderful man. Jude Young has the story.
The word legend is thrown around sometimes and doesn't apply, but in this case it does when we talk about McDonogh 35 head coach Wayne Reese. And coach, looking at your career, you've been at many schools, mostly in Orleans Parish, building programs and dealing with challenges on and off the field. Talk about what that's meant to you throughout these many years of coaching.
Well, let me say one thing. I've been blessed. For one thing, I've been blessed with God gave me the ability to communicate with young people. And it's just something that is hard for me to explain. But then again, I've been in great position with some great people. For instance, you can't do anything in high school unless you have great principals. And the principals that I've had down the line have been great people. They let me work, let me do the program the way I see it. And that's how you can really develop programs. So I've been blessed in that way. So, but everywhere I went, I've been to places where kids was hungry, they kind of had a little downfall, or they wasn't winning like they supposed to win, and I went in at just the right time and was blessed with good athletes and kids that wanted to be a winner in their sports, and all the other stuff is just easy. The kids want to be, and then I hired some real good coaches that came in with me, and we did a great job in convincing the kids that they can be a winner, they can be good in the classroom, they can be good on the football field. Some of them went on to college and was good in that and doing well in this world today. So I was just a blessed person to be in position that I was in. Every school that I have been to, I have had a great principal that let me do the things that I know how to do and develop the young men that I've been able to coach.
And for people who don't understand what you're talking about as far as building a program, it's not so much taking care of business on the field. That's not the first part.
Right.
You mentioned having great principals. Talk about the importance of having great people around you, whether it's assistant coaches, working well with the teachers at the school to be able to give these young men the foundation to be able to win before you worry about the X's and O's.
Well, see, that's the bottom line and the base of building a program. First of all, it's your principal. Second of all, it's your teachers there. You don't know how important it is the teachers play a role in developing a football program, basketball, whatever it is. Because see, the teachers can tell you a whole lot about the kids, and that's what I do. I communicate with the teachers and stuff. I communicate with the parents, the people in the area and everything, and they give you a whole good outline of what kind of kids and stuff you're dealing with. Because kids gonna tell you what you want to hear. See, you need to know certain things about the kids. And so, that's been the good thing about it. Now I got coaches, you don't believe me, but they either played for me or they've been with me since I've been here. Coach Eddie Flynn, Coach Gilbert Bennett, these guys, Coach Osip Patterson, they've been with me since I started coaching. So everywhere I moved, I've been fortunate. Only one place I went to that these guys wasn't, that was in Washington, Marion, in Lake Charles. But all the other places, those guys has been with me, and they know. See, we know each other, put it that way. And we know what to do, how to do it. And we don't have to ask each other because we've been through it before. And then I was fortunate to have guys like my son, Wayne Reese Jr. And he played for me at Carver. He went to Grambling, and he came back, and he wanted to do football. He came in, he been with me since he left college. You got guys like Frank Daggs and Chris Moses. Those guys, I mean, they make this puzzle. They make this puzzle work because everybody plays a part in it, and that's a success to me. Is the people that I got working with me.
Coach Reese mentioning some of his stops along the way as a head coach locally, Booker T. Washington, John McDonogh, and you mention Carver. And when you think Carver locally, you think about a young man that you coach who's gone on to great things, talking about Marshall Faulk. And Marshall Faulk gives you so much credit for what you were able to do for him, to teaching him about a work ethic that you need to be successful. Obviously, you saw great talent in him, but you felt it was important to give him that extra push, maybe a little bit hard on him, it seemed like at first, but we know Marshall learned from that experience and understood what you were trying to do for him. Just talk about the experience of working with Marshall Faulk and how proud you are of what he was able to go on and accomplish as an NFL superstar and a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
Well, and Marshall was one of those guys that, you know, caught everybody's eye. He much caught my eye because he was a quiet young man that really was what you call flying under the radar. But he was a guy that really wanted to learn football and everything. And I never will forget when we first started with Marshall, I used to have to make him get up front to do some things. He was a shy type guy, lead in the background and stuff. But the thing about Marshall, he was willing to learn, he was willing to sacrifice, he was willing to do a whole lot of things to make him better and everything. I can even recall Marshall used to tell me, say, Coach, you know, I need to speak better. So we then put him in public speaking. He said, Coach, I need to do this, I need to do that. And what we did, we put him in those things to make him a better person off the field, not on the field, because what he had on the field was a God gift. And it was just amazing some of the things that he could do. And the number one thing that I think makes Marshall set out, at least I know, is making that he never ever forgot where he came from. This guy was so generous to his community, his neighborhood, the guys that he was around and stuff that wasn't really fortunate as he was to make it to big time and stuff. But he used to give back. He gave back to his community, he gave back to the city. And those are the kind of things that really makes me proud of being a part of his career and everything. He came in and he's where he is today because he listened and he did the things to make him a better person.
That's funny because when we turn on the TV today and see Marshall as an analyst, shy is one thing, or not well-spoken, we don't think those things when we see Marshall. And we have to give you credit for being able to work with young men, help them perhaps with what they see as their weaknesses or areas that they need to get better, not only on the field. Talk about how important it is to identify what young men need as far as being able to improve themselves and be ready for adulthood down the line.
Well, you know, I run into this every day. You know, even much at 35, we're per se academic school and stuff, and I have guys that need a little boost in certain things and stuff, and they might need to be help in this. They might be smart in a whole bunch of things. Some little things that he needed to be to tighten his game up, I would tell him, he would listen. Just take Moore that plays for Nebraska. Now Moore was a kid that was real smart and everything, but he was weak in math. And I look at his ACT school and I say, Chris, I said, man, you need to get a little help in this math stuff. Boom, he go back, then he coming from a 17, then he'll make 21 in the math part. So, you know, these are the kind of things. I got a whole lot of kids this year that we guide in other ways than just football. We put them in a position where they can get what they need to get academic-wise. The majority of the young kids today, they only do the things that they're really good in. And the things they're not good in, they doesn't touch that. They need to be as good in those parts that they're not good in and improve themselves to be a better person.
When we come back, we'll continue talking with Coach Wayne Reese and meet some of the RonEagle players right after this on Talkin Chalk on WHNO TV 20 Sports. Welcome back to Talkin Chalk. When McDonogh 35 started football, they only had 11, 12, and sometimes 13 players to play the game. Those guys had to go both ways, offense and defense, and thus were nicknamed the Iron Eagles. Somewhere along the way, the I got dropped, and McDonogh 35 became known as the RonEagles. Today, the coaches and players will tell you a RonEagle is an eagle that flies higher than any other eagle, and still McDonogh 35 is overcoming adversity and overcoming all odds to win on the football field. Jude Young talks to Coach Wayne Reese and some of the players to find out why.
Dealing with adversity, talk about how this team bounced back after the injury to your leading rusher, Carlos Henderson, and being able to overcome that and still reach these great goals this season.
Well, you know, it's a thing about our kids here that we have to instill into them, that they have to believe in themselves. You know, after Carlos went down and they were saying, well, this is it. And then we as coaches get is now, we got some real good running backs that we might not have that one, but we can take two and make one, and we can all, everybody contribute to what they're supposed to contribute, and I don't think we'll skip a beat. And then they was down for a while, and then after a while, the next week in practice and stuff, they could see that, heck, you know what, we can still do this thing. And that's the good thing I like about this team here. And then the other thing is that these guys, we only have, 7 seniors that's playing. And the rest of the guys, they'll be back next year. You know, we got a lot of sophomores and juniors and stuff. And to get those guys to start believing in themselves now, you know, I think that's great for the coaching staff to make those guys and believe in the things that they're believing in now and the winning part of it and everything. You know, you just say, let's take this week. You know, school is out. This is a holiday. You know, most kids are running around doing everything they want to do. These guys are out here practicing this morning, doing the things that they need to do to try to ensure that they can go up to Neville and win a football game. So, you know, this is it's a special group because they're in waters that they've never been in their life. So, you know, then you're going to have people that talking negative to them. You mean y'all out there practicing and the holiday, man, we having fun, we doing this, that, and they just shy it off and they're here.
Jaron, talk about leading this team, particularly this year when you had to deal with the injury to your leading rusher, Carlos Henderson, but yet the offense continued to make progress, and now you can celebrate the best season this team's ever had.
Well, all during the summer we have to work hard. Everybody was working, you know, and then when Carlos went down, we just had another person step in. And we just kept going, kept rolling.
And that's important because you work to be able to have depth, and your team's certainly been able to do that. Talk about yourself personally as far as taking a leadership role on this team. The success speaks for itself, but how important was it for you to make sure that your teammates believed in you and knew that you can lead them to this kind of success you've had?
Well, without a true leader, you can't go anywhere. I mean, you have to be led by someone, by coaches, but by a player, you would be able to relate to that.
And you've played for a coach who is the definition of leadership locally in high school coaching, and a great staff as well. Talk about what it's been like to learn from Coach Reese. I know he can be tough sometimes on and off the field, but in the end it pays off, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I've been with Coach Reese since about my 7th grade year. I've been playing football for him. I learned a lot from him. He teaches character, when not to give up, stuff like everything.
You talk about being in the 7th Ward and the rivalry with St. Aug, and this year able to knock them down twice, including knocking them out of the playoffs. That's just a little extra special moment that you're going to be able to remember long after the season's passed, isn't it?
Yes, it sure is. Because before that, the senior class last year, they didn't win against St. Aug, and I wanted to make sure that we beat them. And in the playoffs, I didn't want to lose to them, so I could say that we out of the 5 years I've been here, 3 out of 2 times we beat them. So we'll be up on the series.
And now you talk about off the field and preparing for that next stage of life, college and beyond. How has McDonogh 35 prepared you, both with the football program, your teachers, the administrators, the principal, everybody involved at the school, to be ready for that next stage?
Well, I take a lot of college classes now at 35 with Bar College. So by the time we get to college, I'll have about 12, 16 credits. So I won't have to take no English classes at all, probably. And as far as the work, it's very challenging, and you have to study every night to stay up on your work. Otherwise, you'll get behind and fail.
McDonogh 35 has not had a more successful season than this one, and reaching the high stages of the playoffs when you get around to the quarterfinal round, that's something that's awfully special. Talk about working towards that goal. Was that something that you and your teammates talked about? How far can we go at the beginning of the season? Coaches say take it one game at a time, but I know players think about just how much we can accomplish.
Well, to be honest, we've been talking about getting this far since the summer. Like, with hard work and practice, we felt we could do it, and we felt we had the team to do it.
The team has improved quite a bit. The defense has gotten better as the season has gone along to take some of the pressure off of you guys on offense, and you lose Carlos, your leading rusher. Talk about what it was like to be able to adjust and step up. You're a wide receiver. That's an area where in the passing game you could do more to give your offense that balance. Just tell us about how important it was for everybody to believe that they could step up and make up for such a tough loss.
Well, not only did we lose Carlos, but we also lost our starting tight end, so that opened up the slots for a lot of us younger receivers to advance and make plays in the offense.
And just getting an opportunity to play is important, and having great coaches on this staff. Talkin Gardner's one of them, and he played football at a high level and is one of the stars from the past for McDonogh 35. Talk about how important it is to know that you have coaches on this staff that know what it takes to be successful on and off the field, and how much that's meant for you.
Well, it's an honor to be working with Coach Garner, you know, with him actually making it from the exact same school we're trying to make it from. That makes us believe that we can actually do it. So.
Now, Kedrick, you play on both sides of the football. You've mentioned running back, wide receiver, and cornerback. Talk about how much work you have to put in to be able to be productive and get it done for your team on both sides of the ball.
Well, by me being here since the 7th grade, like, I'm, familiar with the system we run or whatever like that, so I just have to come to practice and work hard every day.
Let's talk about you as far as being a football fan and what motivates you, and more importantly, who are those idols out there that you try to emulate and be like?
Well, to be honest, I really don't have none. I just, come play football. That's it.
And perhaps maybe Coach Reese might be as close as it comes to your football idol. Talk about what he's done for you on and off the field and make you a better young man and prepare you for the future.
Well, Coach Reese always tell us positive things and, work with us when we down, and he pick us up or whatever like that.
Welcome back to Talkin Chalk. Coach Wayne Reese was the recipient of the 2011 Eddie Robinson Award presented by the All-State Sugar Bowl. That award is given to someone who has accomplished much with very little resources. Yet despite winning the award this year, Wayne Reese credits the 2010 recipient of that award, Eddie Flint, for all he has accomplished and for playing a major role in the accomplishments of the RonEagles football program. Jude Young looks into why.
Last 2 years, the All-State Sugar Bowl awarding you guys with the Eddie Robinson Award. I don't think I have to tell anybody how special that is. Doing less with more, that's what that man did at Grambling State, and it's what you have done in your career. Talk about looking back at your career now, especially when you received that award. And it's time to reflect sometimes, whether you want to keep going or not, and you have plenty more years to go, Coach. But just reflect on what that meant to you.
I tell you, it was a very surprising to me. It wasn't a surprise for Coach Flint. People don't realize Coach Flint has won a state. Coach Flint has won many districts. Coach Flint has sent many guys to the NFL, player of the year, guys in college and all that. Coach Flint has been around. He has had great success. And let me tell you, the thing that really made me felt good years ago, when Coach Flint was almost at his career as they thought he was, and he came to me and he asked, Coach, he said, will you consider hiring me for the help you? I couldn't believe it, because he coached all my brothers and stuff, and I used to admire all the stuff he did. And I mean, this was just a plus to make me as good as I am with what I do and everything, because see, this guy can tell you right now what he does. He doesn't know a whole lot of coaching. He helps the young coaches. Is this a plus or this is a minus? Talk to him, do this, do that, and everything. But when he got the Eddie Robinson Award, that wasn't a surprise. When I got the Eddie Robinson Award, that was a surprise. It's just, I didn't really think that I had got to that stage, and I have watched this guy many years. I used to drive from New Orleans to Grambling to watch games and stuff that he did. He was just a great individual, and for me to get an award for him. I used to go to clinics. Just to get in his company or get in the same room and see some of the things that he was talking about. And the number one thing that I learned about him is how to develop young men. He had a great knack for developing young men. Grambling had probably had one of his best records, probably in the country, of getting the kids in school, out school, and getting them a job. And he really stressed that. He sent a whole lot of guys to the pros, but his stress was that guy can go make him a decent living after he spent his years that he had in college. But the Eddie Robinson Award was something that if you go to my house, it's sitting right there in the front when you first can come in, because it's something that I hold near to my heart, and I admire the person, Eddie Robinson, and the things that he did for young men.
Congratulations, Coach Wayne Reese, and you too, Coach Eddie Flint, for all you have given back to the youth of the New Orleans area in their growth and development. Hope you've enjoyed this edition of Talking Chalk. See you next week with more right here on WHNO TV 20 Sports.